Hey everybody, how are you doing this afternoon? I just wanted to give you a moment to think about what it's going to look like when we open our services up again. Give you an idea of what you're going to be to expect and what you're going to be walking into. Let's start out here. When you come to park for the sanctuary service, you can park here in the areas. There's a few areas here. We hope that you'll leave some of those for folks that may have a special needs. You can park on the street over there across Macaulay Avenue at that parking lot that's UTC's campus now. We'd love for you to be able to park there, or you can park in the parking lot over here to the other side of Houston. There's a parking lot down there, and it's not really much of a walk up the hill. And always you have the parking that's available on Macaulay Avenue. So you have different places you can park, and there's also some parking here on Houston Street. So we'd love for you to be able to find a place close so you're not wandering all around the building. You're used to come in at the Welcome Center. The keypads will not work. The more people that enter there, the more we have to sanitize, and it just helps us to control the process of sanitation. So why don't you come in with us? I'll show you what we're going to be looking at as we walk in and make our way. As you get to one of the first stations, you'll notice we have the blue markers that you've seen all over the place. We'll ask you the questions that everyone else asks. Have you been in close contact with anyone? How are you experiencing cough, shortness of breath? Have you had a fever in the last 48 hours? Those kind of things like that. And there's some questions that we'll ask you about that as we talk a little bit. And I think as we go in, you'll be asked to wear a mask, of course. If you didn't bring one, we'll have one for you. Then you'll be asked to sanitize your hands. So let's make our way in, and I'll show you a little bit more about what we're doing. Notice we have our hand sanitizer here. We'll have a little bit better, hopefully we'll have a better station so that you can just put your hands under there and sanitize them. We'll also have, if you have not signed up and a guest just happens to show up or plans change and you happen to come, we'll have a sign-up sheet for you here, or we already have your name and we'll just check your name off. That's just for contact tracing. We want to make sure that whoever's here, if something were to happen, we knew who is here, and then we can share that information with the health department and with also the district superintendent, and contact you and let you know that there may have been a case of COVID. So we want to do that to keep you safe, but also for us to do our due diligence if something were to happen. And I know you understand that. So here's where you'll check your registration. Usher will be here to check your registration. Make sure that you've got your name down and we got your information, and then an usher will direct you. So if you'll walk with me, we'll walk into the sanctuary. We're going to fill from the front back. So I think as we're walking, I'm just going to show you a couple of things. We have right here our bulletins. If you notice in the bulletins, they're in the pews. They'll be placed there by an usher who is wearing gloves, so there will not be a personal contact with those bulletins, but they'll be placed there for you. Notice how the seating is spaced out. You'll see that we felt when you measure 6 feet, it's not just one pew. We have taken measures to keep everybody safe, so every place that there's a pew cushion is where you would be sitting. But like I said, we're going to ask you to come up to the front, and as you come to the front, you don't find a particular place here. The usher will welcome you, smiling and greeting and saying, glad that you're here, and we are going to be so glad that you're back. But we'll ask you to fill in the front. Now, when you come into these pews, it's very important that you don't stop at this place here and then expect people to go over top of you. You go to the very far end and you take the farthest seat that's available so that other people won't have to cross paths with you and break that social distancing rule. So those who participate in worship will not wear a mask, but at the times that we leave, we will put our mask back on. Now, notice this door over here. That door is only for staff during this phase 2 of this COVID crisis. We're asking that you just respect that so our staff can come in that way and go out that way, except when we're processing the light out. That'll be Jan and I usually do that, but most of the time our staff will come in this way and go out that way. So you know, it happens. If you have to go to the restroom, you just go out to the back and then go around to the side. And those just the little simple things. The aisle here in the middle will not be used by anyone. We're going to enter in the side aisles and exit on the side aisles. So what I wanted to show you as we exit, here's what we're going to do. If you're the first to come in, you're going to be the last to leave. So as we leave, we're going to exit from the back so that you're not having to cross the path of someone before you. We'll exit in the same way that we came. We'll empty from the back, as they say, and load from the front and empty from the back. How about that? Just so you're aware. Now, take one more glimpse. You'll be seated in the places where the cushions are. And as we make our way back, you'll see that there other places are roped off. We ask that you take your place at one of these seated positions as you move your way up in the sanctuary. And as we leave, we're going to ask for your help. You know, as you're leaving, the hardest thing to do is you haven't seen each other in a while, and I understand that. I've been in a few funerals, and it's just driving me crazy not to be able just to stay and talk and shake hands and hug. But as we make our way out, we ask that you make your way to your cars and maybe say hello as best you can and keep your distance, physical distancing as best you can. But then move out, because if you clutter right here and if you stop right here, you're going to stop everybody else from coming out. And I know you don't want to do that. So we don't want people having to pass around people or anything. So we just ask you to continue to make a steady flow out here, and then you'll exit the same way. We'll even have these things turned around so that you'll know that you're exiting. You'll notice that our balcony is closed. We'll have that roped off for our camera crew, and also once we fill this side, then we'll go over here and the ushers will start to fill on the other side. The sanctuary right now will hold about 90 people. So we can move a few more in if we have to, but that's just for the people who are sitting. That doesn't include the worship participants. So this storm's going to pass. And as it passes, we're going to be back together again and doing things in a significant way. But know this too, that we're still doing some significant ministries all over the world. And it's because of you and your help that we're able to do so. So thanks again for all you're doing. We hope to see you soon. Take care.